Hey guys, Sheep here. Today we're gonna do a Pally walkthrough. Just give me 1 second. I know technically we already did do a Paladin walkthrough. Unfortunately, that video was really bad quality and just like absolutely terrible. So we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna start going. We're gonna go through with the goal is Holy Bolt for pretty much the entire game. Up until Hell, we're gonna be Holy Bolt. Once we get to Hell, we're gonna swap to Shield Toss after Meth. Once again, we have our items that we're going to be putting on as we go through. I'll explain when you get these items, when to make them, that kind of stuff. This is our early game setup, our mid game setup, and our late game setup already prepared for us, so we don't have to stop and farm, so we can just keep going. So first step, players 8. Make sure you put your cube in your cube. Anyone that's played the game before will know. Nothing really to say about the early game. We're just going to whack some, well, some not quills. Unfortunately, like, Holy Bolt kinda sucks ass for the first few levels. So what you'd want to do is go, like, Judge Knot. But it costs, like, 43 mana, and that's just not realistic. So, for the start, we're probably gonna go Sacrifice. And all into Vitality. The highest XP you can get at the very start is killing these Quill Mothers. Just do that, make your life easier. Run around killing Quill Mothers. We're gonna grab. I thought we got Might or some equivalent. We'll grab Holy Shock. Just until we can set up for a nice, really bolt setup. Like, this is why I like going with Sacrifice first. It's not the Sacrifice eating our mana. It's the Aura. Auras have mana costs in these, but they're just drains instead of actual mana costs. And you see the Quills really make leveling like super fast. Yep. Okay, I think 6 should be fine. Me. Run the cold planes real fast. Probably still kill some quills as we go through. Yeah, their XP has definitely dropped down. A respec here. So like Judge Knot is technically better than Holy Bolt, but it just feels like ass to play Judge Knot. So we're just gonna go all Holy Bolt. It's cost 8 mana cast. We're gonna want some energy. 40 should be fine, and then all into Vitality from there. Holy Bolt deals damage to everything in the mod, and not just undead and, yeah, you know, we see how bad our mana costs are going to be. I'm just going to run through Den real fast. If you watch my Sorcerer's playthrough, you'll know that getting hit by these Fallen Shamans is just a very early death. Yep, we're just all into Holy Bolt. Summon something down here. Oh, I just don't have to backtrack if I didn't have to. Yep. I was trying not to get hit. Hi, Casco, man. I mean, it's an ARPG, so our lane is, I guess we can consider ourselves an 80 carry. Mid lane carry. Man, I'm really bad at clearing with Holy Bolt. Holy Bolt really doesn't feel good until you get like your first set of rune words. You probably make that argument for any spell though. Oh no. Kinda tired today. Let's not get hit by those. We missed one somewhere. Those auras are really what we're talking about, so we'll just grab one horrible. This one? Yeah, I was hoping that was it. If every if every multi-shot projectile is Ash W, then I guess yes, it is Ash W. Oh, I knew I missed one down here somewhere. Okay, by the time you finish with Den, you should be able to buy your 2-socket items. Basically, early game, you're going to want boots plus gloves. Like, get 2-socket boots, get 2-socket gloves. And a 2-socket belt if you can. Chest piece, also nice. Early on, you're going to want to make a love, which is an LF. The important stats on this are Mon after kill. Everything else is just there. To be completely honest. You'll also be able to probably get an Ith after Den. It's not too rare for a Ral to drop, and that's what we're basing this off of. If you have like 2k health, 2k or any money really, pick yourself up a 1+1 Paladin Scepter. Mine's a nice cast rate one, but you can really just use any +1 Paladin Scepter. It's the generic staff mod for scepters. They're not too expensive. Like 280, 1900 for one. Yeah. About 2k gold. They're really not hard to get a hold of. Then we're off to Gold Lanes. You can see how much that mana after each kill really helps sustain us. Holy Bolt is such a cool skill, held back by the fact that it has no pierce. I'm so good at going to Burial Grounds first accidentally every single time. So, in the community, Holy Bolt is called Shotgun Paladin because you can hit multiple of these bolts on a single target. So the best way to kill bosses is stand as close to them as possible. So you don't want vitality. But that thing is also the problem with why it's so hard to clear with Holy Bolt. because you hit the same target multiple times, and sometimes you just don't need to do that. Oh, is that a healthy breakfast? It is a healthy breakfast. Free glow. Strobe light paladin. I really thought that Holy Bolt was going to shoot less bolts early on, so I planned for us to get spell power to make up for that. Doesn't seem needed though. Yeah, you can see right there, like, that one enemy that we already one-shot ate all of our Holy Bolts. So we didn't get much damage off. Yep, there goes a mercenary because he's so useless without items. A lot of you, if you're new to this mod, will die in this area because of just how much damage the Tainted do. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, I'm going to test something, but I don't suggest this. We're going to test and see if Concentration gives damage. If it does not, I suggest going just more into... yeah, it does not. Just going more into Holy Bolt. I was curious. I wasn't 100% sure. I was like, I'm pretty sure this doesn't. But just in case. Our actual plan is Conviction, because Conviction in this mod does affect magic damage. That's not until way later. Man, they really did make the underground passage very dark. I despise doing this on melee, it's so bad. The concept was they wanted you to have a reason to actually get light radius. So they made a couple areas like really dark because of that. But it does feel a little awkward in the early game. More in Holy Bolt. Not this direction. Yeah, we don't have any item increases until Black Marsh, so we're just gonna keep pushing through. Now we need not make the mistake we made with the Sorceress and throw a portal up, ruin our way back portal. Ooh, a Tarsh. Resistances? Resistances! Hey, waypoint. I'm having like a really hard time seeing in this area. God, it's so dark. This is Player's 8, by the way. Just easily clear in Player's 8 on this. We are going to need 3 gems later. Make sure we're picking those up. Oh, there we go. It's pretty near the waypoint. We're gonna go ahead and respec here. Because that holy bolt thing I wanted to test out. Oh, nope. God, they made that so loud. 101 damage to Holy Bolt. So the thing about Holy Bolt is it does 100% damage to undead and demons and 50% damage to all of the monster types. But that's more than enough to clear most of the game, because to be honest, most of the monster types in this game are undead and demons. And there's very few beasts, which is the other monster type. I think there's also traps / automatons. I don't know what their actual designation is. Those are even rarer than beasts. So you'll be doing full damage except for those couple of examples. Like, the only good support aura is here. All these are low duration buffs, and I hate using them. They're not bad. Like, if you have extra points in the late game, they're a great source for that, of like things to use. No point in grabbing any of this other stuff either. It's just all into Holy Bolt. I guess you could choose to opt to 1 point in Holy Shield, but meh. So at this point, we should be able to get, if we're picking up rings and amulets and stuff, you should be able to get 10% faster cast rate rings and 10% faster cast rate amulets. This one's a little better than a normal one. I was just YOLO gambling, I got this, so just kind of ignore it. Imagine that it's a 10% faster cast rate amulet with no other stats. They're super easy to find early game. Like, pick up a couple rings, you'll most likely get a 10% faster cast rate one. Okay, now we are off to Black Marsh. The goal here is Countess runs. We do a couple Countess runs, we can fill out our Rune Word Suite and actually deal damage while being tanky. Currently we deal damage, but we're not very tanky. Like a good... Oh, that is such a nice shield. Okay, so we need the waypoint and the tower. And if you remember from our last video, tower always spawns near a wall. And the waypoint can spawn anywhere, which makes it such a pain to find. I do like that Holy Bolt is one of those skills where you can kind of just start it and you don't have to think too hard about it. Like, you can use it as early and late game gear. Oh, I thought this was going to be tower, like, right here, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And the only thing Holy Bolt really sucks at is clear. Like, everything else is pretty good. Okay, it looks like it's on the other side of the river. Unless it's right here, I'm going to check that real fast. No. So, other side of the river it is. Oh no, this can't be on the other side of the river. That's the next area. Huh. Did I miss it somewhere? Probably to the left right here. Or right over here. There we go. That's not too bad a run. So in here, you got to be very careful of these archers. They hit like a truck. Pick up your rings. Come over here, grab your gold. It's very convenient to be able to grab a lot of here. Oop. Skull. If you don't already have your +1 Paladin Scepter, great place to farm the gold to get one. Because you're going to be here anyway to kill Countess. What level am I? 16. Mana issues, really big, really annoying. Only because I was too lazy to buy a belt, though. That's really why. Really annoying. Talon and aim, off to a great show early. So I'll take our Tal and I'll take our aim. We'll throw it in a storage spot, our storage thing. They give us 1,088 rune points, which is more than enough to craft our stealth armor, our madness belt, and we will talk about the shield later. I opted for madness belt. I thought we were going to need the spell power drain, the spell power for Holy Bolt. Instead, I think I'd actually go... Wrong one, sorry, my bad. I'd actually go for Lust for extra mana after each kill and Run Walk. Probably a better choice. But I wanted the, like, extra spell power for a single target. And I thought we weren't going to get a lot of bolts on Holy Bolt, and I guess I was just wrong. If you opt to go for Madness, it can roll between 0 to 3 combat power and 0 to 3 spell power. The only stat that matters on your rolls is spell power rolls. So you want about a 2. A 2 is fine. So just keep throwing F tiers into whatever belts you can get a hold of until you roll at least 2 spell power, if you want to use that. So at this point, you'll have your love gloves, your mystery boots. We opted to use these specifically for the magic skill damage. Then you're gonna have your stealth armor, just the generic movement speed armor, great for leveling. 10 out of 10, do recommend. And then I went with Madness, but as I said, you can go for Lust instead. You'll have your faster cast rate rings at least, and if you got lucky, you'll also have an amulet. You should also have a 10% faster cast rate. Just kidding. I spent way too long farming this. You should have a 1 skill Paladin Scepter. None of the other stats matter. And as I said, you just go over to Akara, walk over here. There's one for 252 gold. Like, they're not rare. Preferably, you'd also like one with, like, some magic skill damage on it. So let's move on. Yeah, you can see we have a lot of bolts now, but they still can get all eaten by one person, so you gotta be careful about where you're throwing them. It's what makes the clear on this so meh sometimes. Like, it's more than good enough for leveling, and it's more than good enough to clear the game. But it just... Personal preference, I hate projectiles that just die off. You used to be able to use Razor Tail for 30% chance of pierce. I'm not sure if you can anymore, so I'm not going to use that as a suggestion. But if you can, use Razor Tail. If you can't, forget I said anything. I was tempted to go into a little more mana. $17 right now. And our mana regen is really nice right now. As long as we're not being stupid about our cast, we should be okay. You can still play hammers in this mod if for some reason you aren't sick of hammered in. I don't suggest it over Holy Bolt because of just how meh it is in comparison. You get infinite pierce, but you have to be in melee range. And it also has, like, kick you in the teeth levels of mana cost. I don't know why I came over here. If you want the mallet, pick up the mallet, I guess. Okay, at 18, we can finally get something new. We're going to put 1 point in Salvation for extra resistances. Because your statue gives you +3 skill points for having no other charms on. This one doesn't count. This literally has no charm weight. You get +3 skills. +3 to all skills. Gives you 40 resistance for 1 point. Really nice. Downside, I have to actually left click now. I think we're going to be level 20 before we even get to Act 2. I could throw it to just players 1 and just kind of run through it. But I will leave it on players 8, just for funsies. It always takes me forever to do Act 1 because there's just so much stuff to do in Act 1. That's the excuse I'm using and not the fact that I went the wrong direction twice. Man, I can see the exit too and I went the wrong way. Disgusting. Okay, we're gonna put it down to players 1 and just kind of run through this section. Specifically because the boss is coming up. I don't really care about my XP here. I'm going to pull that, see if we get anything good. Ooh, rare check. What's F? It's also garbage. I guess I'd prefer it be ethereal and garbage rather than be actually good. I'm not looking forward to my time through Maggot Lair on this build. It's just a pain. Make sure you pick up all 3 of your gems. Put all your gems in your bag. There, I got tucked in here. Doop doop. 30 minutes for Act 1, not bad. Like, not good, not bad. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're already, like, a reasonable level here. By now, you're probably, I don't know, 15, so... Either way, when you get to 18, you're going to want to make one of these. These are very easy to make. You just come over to Edirum, grab your amethyst remover, cube it alone until it's a diamond remover. Add it with your bag that has gem numbers next to it. Pull out yourself 3 diamonds. Put them in the shield. Where do you get the shield, you ask? You buy it from Faro. It's pretty common for a 3-socket shield. Just walk outside of town, throw a portal out right there. I'll do it. I'll show it off. Walk out of here. Throw a portal up. Whichever I hit the right button. And let's check in. Oh, look, we found one. See, I told you, like, it's super easy to find one. They are not rare. I'm gonna put my gems back because I don't need them. And then you'll have capped res. Probably won't even need the salvation aura for it, to be honest. A little bit extra. We're going back to players 8. But you need 18 for the required level for the gem shield. And I know some of you are thinking, what about Ancient's Pledge? Ancient's Pledge is only 33 all res, which is just worse. Like, without a doubt, worse. Fanaticism's 30, rip. But with max res and going nothing but vitality this long, the things that can kill you are really low. And they're mostly from you, like, not paying attention or walking into a pack that just looks deadly. There are a few exceptions to this. Mummies, like Radamant, shoot unholy bolts, and those do a ton of damage we are not prepared for yet. And there's really nothing you can do about that this early on. Just don't get hit. Don't get hit forehead. Make sure we're picking up all these gems. We're going to need them all later for re-rolling and other such things. I think I run the wrong direction. Radaman, are you over here? Radabaro. Nope. Don't look like. Oh, nope, he is. Where is he at? His projectiles do so much damage. I'm just trying not to get by them. Ooh, rig. You should be selling all this stuff, by the way. I am literally just being lazy. Max out Holy Bolt. More into Vitality. After Holy Bolt, we're going to go into Hold Fast, probably. Which is our, like, really tiny... You go through Hold Fast or Hear My Prayers. Either one doesn't matter. I might go Hear My Prayers. They are short duration buffs. And if you can remember to keep them up, they're actually really strong. The problem is I am very bad at remembering to keep them up. Like, absurdly bad at it. I tried to right click. Ooh, nice exit. Once you hit level 20, if you're feeling very spicy, you could actually swap over to Holy Fire. And it's just such a better, like, AFK kind of clear playstyle. I'll show it off once we get to a waypoint. And I think it might be a little better at clearing Maggot Lair without actually having to think about it. If you're 20 before Arcane Sanctuary, I would suggest it. Because God is Maggot Lair such a pain in the ass. And it's viable up until you get to Mephisto. Whereas Holy Bolt is viable all the way up at the end of the game. As I said before, you can play Holy Bolt until you get tired of playing the character, really. Okay, here we go. And I will show off why Holy Bolt sucks in Maggot Lair. Okay, it's not... Yeah. The hallways are just a really pain in the ass. Also, a great place to get money, by the way, if you're still struggling with money. Yeah, it's just hallways with Holy Bolt feels so bad. Oh, it looks like they did something to improve it. It used to hit the walls a lot. Might just be because we have such a high number of bolts that they're not hitting the walls constantly. Yeah, you kind of just get stuck. It's just not comfortable. You can do it, but you might as well abuse the free respec system and have a little fun with the game. Clear out here. Pick up the staff and just not realize I did. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can try to remember to activate this buff. Every 20 seconds. Something just tells me that is unlikely. Okay, now let's say you're just like sick and tired of Holy Bolt. You can just go literally just all in. Holy Fire does 60 damage. I'm just double checking our damages. This is 30 to 60. This is, oh yeah, we can only max Holy Fire. What am I thinking? Oh, we can only max. Holy shock. My bad. I thought it was Holy Fire. It's been 1 point of sacrifice. You get the very lazy playstyle of just kind of walking around. It's best for players 1, like if you're like really ahead. Oh, the waypoint was right here. Wow, what a bunch of wasted time. Like we are, like we're level 22 here. Realistically, like we're way too far ahead for our own good. But yeah, you can see when it's players 1, you just get to walk through. This is the advantage to being over-leveled. Walk through, pick up anything you need. Have a nice time. Here's out for a nice little stroll. Oh, the extra points? Extra points go in vengeance. Where is the exit? Is it over here? Nope, it's upstairs. It's really not important me drinking these potions. Oh well. As you can see, for like players 8, you have to actually hit things to kill them, which we're more than capable of doing. It's just kind of fun. Like a nice break from Holy Bolt. But you can do this up until you hit, I think, 24. Lets you swap to Holy Fire. And then you do Holy Fire up until Act 4. Pretty comfortably. I'll probably switch back to Holy Bolt after we finish up Claw Viper. I just wanted to show this off. No. Monsters? What monsters? I don't see any monsters. Okay, we do not want to actually use charms early game, so we're not going to bother picking them up. The problem with charms is they lower the extra skills you get off of your statue. So we don't want to use charms until late game when we actually get extra plus skills off of having charms. Or if we really need them to cap our res. Okay. Talk to this boy. Just double checking some things. This is a weird pathing. I can never go this way. I went like the long way. Okay, take your gamble right now as I respect Holy Bolt. Do you believe that we will go the right direction in 1, 2, 3, or 4 attempts? What's our synergy? Hold fast. Personally, I think I am very unlucky. I'm going to go 50 energy here. Feel free to copy that if you want to. I think it's going to take us 2 tries. I'm also going to go back to players 8. It's more important for me to be playing on players 8 than for anyone following along. The reason why is I don't want to have to stop and farm anything if I really don't have to. So if we just play on players 8 the entire time, I won't have to do that. Usually everything in here is kind of spooky, especially the vampires that do fireballs with fire damage. But because we capped our resistances, nothing's like, yeah. Woo, it did 20 damage to us. Let's see. If it hit us. I'm not even sure it actually hit us. I am going to suggest if we go the wrong direction, that's the other, if you go the wrong direction, open the chest and just turn around. But in these chests, you can get soul runes, which would be really nice for us because it'd let us go a lore helmet. I get so confused going on this thing. As I said in the last video, the red portal section is so much easier because you can use your free telekinesis to hit the portals from distance. Speeds thing up quite a bit. Okay, if you see a jewel on the ground, keep one in your stash. You might need it later. At least one, probably up to 3. They are very useful later. Please be here, because I don't want to do more runs. Oh, we got it right in 2. Nice call, me. Star. What is star? But you can make rune words by putting a jewel in first if you have extra sockets, and then putting your rune word in. Say I need to make a steel. We'll use a stealth. Say I need to make a stealth. It's Tal F in your chest piece. If you put a jewel in first in a 3-socket chest piece, you can make stealth afterwards. I can show this off when I'm done clearing this area. I'm a little spooked by the number of mummies in here. So I do want to be a bit careful. These things just do so much damage. It's fine, all you guys can screw off, it'll be okay. So one of the big benefits to going Hear My Prayers first is it has a bunch of healing attached to it if you remember to activate it. Like a kind of an unreasonable amount of healing. That is the wrong direction. Also not the right direction. Yeah, we have so many projectiles now that like our clear is just kinda guaranteed. I still think it's clear compared to like other skills isn't the best, but it's pretty reasonable. What it really excels in is God does this skill do so much boss damage. Ort. I'm never going back to that one. Remember, bosses are easier to do on Players 1 because they don't have any extra drops on players 8, so there's no point in really doing it on players 8. Unless you really just want the challenge. Challenging. Nope. ID Arctic Mitts. Useless. Hello. That one was the ring. I do suggest keeping any sets you get a hold of. They might have use later. Okay, we have to go over here first. Or didn't somebody get a drink? Okay, we are 25 and I will not show off Holy Fire. So max, if you want to do the Holy Fire build, it's max Holy Fire, 1 point in sacrifice, rest into Vengeance. Ignore that you can see the lightning aura, it's just a visual thing, it doesn't actually deal damage. I think. It wasn't dealing damage before, so I don't think it does damage. Yeah, this is just Holy Fire. Like, it triggers slower than Holy Shock, but it just does more damage. This is Players 1, I will remind you of that. And if you're doing Holy Fire, you're probably going to play on Players 1. Because the concept of it is just go fast, be fast. Only, like, spend time on things that actually have to be killed. Passive leveling. Okay, so we need spider caverns. It doesn't look like it's over here. Yeah, if you're on players 8, off Holy Fire on players 8 as soon as we get a chance to. That's his Arachnid Lair, which is the wrong one. On players 8, you play way closer to being like a melee kind of character. We should be caught up, yeah. It's 2 procs to kill squishies on players 8. So you actually have to hit things. But you still kind of kill trash pretty easily. Starting from here, you're really going to want to look out for a crystal sword. Speaking of the devil. You'll need this later for crafting a spirit. I think it has to be 21, at least. Do not quote me on that. Actually, I will check the spreadsheet for you as soon as we get somewhere that is not covered in enemies. Should be over here. Oh, it's not? Wow. Okay, let me check the spreadsheet real fast. Do 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 do. brain is like I'm staring at this spreadsheet and like something has fucked it all up. It says Crystal Sword should get 4 sockets at any eye level. I wouldn't trust that. I would say at least 21. 25, level 26, and they'll get 5 sockets, which you don't care about really. It might be right. I don't really want to test it, but I could. So that's Holy Fire on player's 8. Like, it's not bad. I'm gonna go back to Holy Bolt. Just consistency. I really like that we get free resistances while we're leveling. The damage is good. The clear's fine. As long as one fat boy don't end your life. Also could keep your eye out for a nice high-res paladin shield. Because you're going to have to choose between making a paladin shield spirit and making a crystal sword spirit. Personally, I think crystal sword is better because you really need a high-res paladin shield if you're going to go the shield route. Otherwise, we will not have capped res in Nightmare. Ooh, a shale. That's nice. Okay, as soon as we find your first mid-rune, which is like soul and higher are mid-runes. Once you find your first one, you can make your lore helmet, which will give us a lot more damage. Am I 30? No, I'm 26. Why did I think I was 30? Oh, it's because shield toss popped up. I thought it was level 30. Get it? This. Okay, so we'll just play Holy Bolt until we get 30, and then we'll do some rearranging. Yeah, like you can really see what I was saying about clear being kind of eh. There's all kinds of solutions for your clear, but none of them involve Holy Bolt. At least while leveling. First item acquired. Ah, what I would not give for teleport here. I went to go click, like I get super paranoid that I muted myself. So I went to go click it, and you have no idea how sad I would have been had it click on and I've muted this entire time. To be honest, both these items are kind of awful. But we'll keep them in case we need them later. We had a great marsh pathing. Unfortunate. Just running, running, running. As long as we're not stupid, it should be pretty easy to run through. Ugh. Sorry, I've been sitting for an hour. I needed to reroute. Like, I need to stretch a little bit. Sit up a tad. Yeah, unfortunately we're so, like, over level right here that just nothing interesting is going to happen. Which really makes me want to switch back to Holy Fire and Players 1, but I'm not going to. If I show off anything, it's going to be Judge Knot, which is the other leveling option. I think the problem with Judge Knot is just it's so much mana. I don't think it's that way. I'm hoping it's not that way. We're going to test it. We're already here. We might as well get this way. Oh, it is this way. Okay. Let's confirm there's nothing over here. Clear this out, and then I will show off Judge Knot. It's a great place to show it off. Okay, so the major downside to Judge Knot is, God, does this skill take a lot of money. A lot of mana. A lot of money, too, to be honest. So Judge Knot, Salvation. What was the synergies for this? Bless Hammer or Shield Toss. It doesn't really matter what you can choose. Probably Bless Hammer, because you can click it. Each one of these costs 63 mana. So you're one on about 180 mana, so you can cast at least 3. The rest to Vitality. Do not worry, you will never need 3 of these things up at the same time. So why do I suggest this skill? If it costs 60 mana cast, it's because this. It's Holy Bolt, but AoE and pierces. It's such a good skill. Probably one of the better clear skills in the game. The downside is it just costs so much goddamn mana. And when I say one of the better clear skills, I mean one of the better clear skills for leveling. Late game, this kind of does fall off a bit. Yeah, this is Judge Knot. Okay, we're going back to Holy Bolt. I shut it off. I hate the mana cost of it. $50. Rest Fighter. That's all I want to do. Just want to show it off. Holy Bolt actually might be better clear. But I think that's mostly because we opted to roll the +3 Madness Belt. Without that, clear is probably somewhere. Oh, yeah. Earlier I said if you get a shale, you can get your Lore Helm, so let's do that. Put our shale in our thing. It gives us 2 mid-rune points. You need 1 mid-rune point to get a Lore Helm. So just go ahead and throw that bad boy on. And we are good to go. Another plus skill. It's a little bit of extra res that does not matter whatsoever, but it's there. Like, all the paladin skills are kind of low clear right now in the game. Oh, look, a soul. We're gonna throw this up. You're supposed to be at least 35 by the kill Bale. I don't think that's going to be an issue for us. Flare is such good mana. Oh, it's such good XP and money. I'm not in a hurry to put a point into Hear My Prayer. Yeah, we really don't need stats besides the ones we already have. Our starter strength is more than enough to get through. Probably until we go to put our spirit sword on. 50 mana is probably way more than enough. So we need to put all our points in Vitality. And Paladin gets so much health per Vitality point that we're just so tanky early. Thankfully, Act 3 is the last slow act. Like, Act 4 and Act 5 are very straightforward and very easy. Speed up a lot there. And Nightmare is just super easy. Especially once we get our Spirit Sword and our Teleport. Some of you might see similarities between Charge Bolt and Holy Bolt when it comes to like leveling. And they are really similar to the same like skills, to be honest. It's just, God, does Charge Bolt feel better to play? And I don't know why. Oh, my bad. Rolling Thunder. I think it's because you're a sorceress. I really think that's what it comes down to. You get all the sorceress benefits. One more level before we get our our huge damage increase. Where is a So that's the exit out to Travical. Where's the sewers at? Just do this. There's a sewers right there. Go get Travical waypoint and come back. Guess we should be on the lookout for better Paladin Scepters at this point. Trying to pick this up. Thank you. Definitely not better. I might as well do Trav. I'm already here. That way all these stupid animations and stuff can rape away. Okay. Trav down. Sewers incoming. Hopefully it's not a terrible sewers layout. Like maybe we'll be blessed with a good one. I doubt it. I think once we hit 30 we're going to swap to just a speed clear kind of setup. We're going to put it on players 1 and we're just going to run through. 30 is more than good enough for normal. So yeah, I think once we hit 30, we're just going to run through it. Not that direction. Still going to be playing Holy Bolt though. Just going to lower to player 1 and kind of just run through. It's so much harder to tell where the end sewers is when you have bats as one of your enemy spawns. Like when bats aren't one of the enemy spawns, it's so easy to find the end. Because you're like, oh, look for the bats. I see this bat specifically. Perfect, I was just complaining about you. Show me a ring with cast speed. Garbage. Okay, this. Town. We're gonna turn in all our quest rewards we've gotten as we've been running around. This, get our golden bird. Put this on. Oh. Apparently that breaks your statue's extra movement speed. Weird. I don't know if I should report that as a bug or not, to be honest. Probably. It's not a big bug, but I'll report it later. Have we made 63 running around? Really? Goddamn. I think I started with 7. I didn't need to keep that, I just need to show it off. I'm just going to player 1 through here because I don't want to have to remember to turn it on from Mephisto. Because I want to sprint and not think about it. We don't have any gear we're on the lookout for, by the way. Like, that is one of the downsides by Holy Bolt. It has very specific gear requirements. And, like, none of it's findable before Nightmarily. I do suggest actually finding your waypoint for all bosses in normal. There are certain set pieces you'll need for crafting later that are so much easier to farm if you already have the waypoints for it. Of course, you can always go back and get your waypoints. But we're trying to do this as least painful as possible. Ugh. Not this way. Waypoint. Oh, you fix it. Yeah, Yeah, last time we had teleport, so we got to go a little faster. Who would have known that not having teleport makes you slower? I swear there was a boss there. I don't really want to talk to Kane here. Tankreds, Dark Glow. It's actually like not a bad armor piece. Back to players 8 until we get 30. Monster Shrine, I'm good. Oh, get our quest log cleared. Iswal, please don't be in a pain in the ass spot this time. Please be somewhere semi-normal and not annoying as shit. Well, here's this. I'm gonna do this so I can remember where it is. Heyo! Maybe I didn't need to do that. Iswal is a tanky boy, but like even with him being a tanky boy, he's still doing enough damage to clear him pretty easily. Let's get our +2 skill points. Oh, and we leveled? Sweet, sweet, sweet. So we're 30 now. We can respec. So, at 30, same things. You want 50 energy, rest into vitality. Max Holy Bolt, 1 point conviction. All into Hear My Prayers. Extra points go into Holdfast. And Conviction actually works on magic resistance in this mod. So it actually does increase our damage by quite a bit. And it breaks immunities, which will be very useful later. Also, we're 30, so back to players 1, so we can just run through this shit. And now we're just gonna max Conviction when we have the ability to, and if we don't, we'll put it into the Holy Bolt synergies. That's a personal preference, because Conviction's aura range is so short early levels that I really want more points into it. But you could technically max the Holy Bolt synergies first, besides Holy Shield, and then max Conviction. Let's call it a personal preference. You're wondering, there are a total of like maybe 2 types of mods that are immune to magic at the moment. Same as retail. The main point is lowering their magic resist so they take up to double damage. Let's say they're at 0. They're at 26, so they're 26% more damage. It's not exact science. I believe that's how it works. Money. Yeah, we really are making money fast, aren't we? You're gonna need all that money later, so hold on to it. Don't leave it in your inventory like I am. Do as I say, not as I do. Terrible parenting option, by the way. Don't confuse your 4 children. Finding that really makes me want to put it back to players 8. God damn it. It's because I hate myself. And it would be a shame if things were easy. Okay, keep your eye out for like a 20 plus res heraldic shield. If you find a nice 20 plus one, which I don't know if you can actually find a normal, I will admit. You could make a spirit out of that first. But I wouldn't do it anything other than a 20 plus. If you can't find a 20 plus one, you're going to be getting your spirit in a crystal sword. As you can see, though, you don't really need more damage. Like, your damage is fine. So glad shrines are no longer considered curses, so we can have both a shrine and a curse on at the same time. Imagine. Yeah, we are so overleveled. There's like no consistency in levels of these mobs. Like some of them are 30 and some of them are 24. And I do wonder how hard it would be to kill Diablo on Player's 8. I might try it. Reducing magic resist by 29.
Not even death can save you from me.
Once we got the shotgun proper, like not very long at all. We're getting there. I'm just super excited to get teleport. Like it goes so much faster after teleport. Oh, that's right, get out. Okay, all our gems away. Throw this on the ground. An angelic ring? Wow. Still on the lookout for a slightly better scepter. I don't know if we can get a 2 paladin one yet. But I don't think so. That might be specifically like a Nightmare in Hell scepter thing. But I'll keep checking anyway. Conviction. Do, 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 do. This is a 35 already. God. Okay. Once you kill Shank, you should be able to get your Spirit Sword, which is great for me because God, do I love the stats Spirit gives us. So, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your Crystal Sword that I casually threw on the ground. To where I have one set up just for this. Come over to Lazaric, add sockets to your Crystal Sword. You're going to get either 5 or 6 sockets. If it's 5 sockets, you're going to go Jewel, Talthol, or Aim. If it's 4 sockets, skip the Jewel. You'll have to respec because we don't have enough strength. Thankfully, I got lucky in that extra point, so I don't have to respec. And then we're just going to switch out the Scepter for the sword. If you found a nice Heraldic Shield, like this one, per se, this was a 35% resistance one, so you're not going to find this one. But if you find a nice, like, 20 res one, you can make a Spirit Shield instead and use that. I just opted not to do that because I didn't want to lose the 57 all res. Instead, it would have been, like, 35 res or something like that. But that's it. Go for sword if you find a sword. Go for shield if you find a really nice shield. Not a lot to say about that. It's going to do some minor inventory management here. And the real benefits of swapping over don't appear till later. I'm definitely going to go player 1 here. I just want to get through Act 5 and I don't want to think about it. So we're just pretty safe to do whatever we want until Ancients. Just run forward. Yeah, you really can feel like the speed difference between Sorc and Paladin once you start needing to go like run through the game. Like clear-wise, they're very similar. But this just like section right here sucks ass. Because we're at a point where, like, we don't need to kill anything because we're already high enough level. But we need to run faster, and Sork having teleport is just going to win out every time. Technically, you can go charge on Paladin to make this a little faster, but in Remodded, charge has a cooldown, so you don't go that much faster. But once we kill Bale, we even out because Paladin will get teleport after Bale. It's not as good of a teleport, but it's still a pretty strong teleport. I mean, any teleport is a strong teleport, to be fair. It's just so much damage. Such a stupid amount of damage. You're not gonna bait me this time into going players 8. I just want to get through here. Thank you. Yeah, like going just like Holy Bolt all the way through isn't that bad. Yeah, it's Glacial Trail. I want the waypoint because I do want to go do Anya. Ugh. Just sit a little closer. My arm's starting to fall asleep. Because you don't actually like do anything else with your mouse when you're playing Paladin. You hold down left click, and then you hold your stand still button when you want to deal damage. There's this. I'm hoping the waypoint is very clear nearby. Just around this corner would be best. Yeah, okay. So we'll progress through and we'll go back to Anya after we get the Bale waypoint, probably. Oh, we're really 36? God. I feel like because I couldn't teleport, I gained so much more XP. I couldn't skip anything. Like, that's such an absurd amount of XP to have. Act 5 is such a cool act that I feel like most people haven't actually fully explored. Because let's be honest, by the time you get to Act 5, you're kind of done with normal. And no one like really spends that much time in Nightmare. This isn't talking about your first playthrough, this is talking about like repeat playthroughs. Like your first playthrough, maybe you spend a lot of time here. But in replay playthroughs, you do what I do, like right here. You just fucking run through it. Check these boots for like some nice movement speed resistance boots. Ooh, those are some really nice boots. And replace our boots. Like our boots aren't bad, but I really want the movement speed here. And I'll give out 5% damage for it, like literally. I'm giving up 8 damage to switch boots. Yep. Worth it. I still would suggest the mystery boots for early. But as soon as you find a nice pair of like movement speed boots, just with some resistance on it and swap over. You're going, what? I'll have cap resistance anyway, does it matter? Yes, because some things cast low resist. So it does matter. Thanks for asking, imaginary people. I just want the waypoint. I want to go to Anya. And then I'll show off cows and we're good. And then we're good. Waypoint? Yeah, let's go. I don't know where I'm going. I needed to teleport to Crystalline Passage. It'd be so much faster if I just wait until after. Yeah, let's just wait till after so I get teleport. I was thinking about it. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to do it now. Because I like that resistance. But I'm also thinking, God, I don't want to have to walk through those tunnels. So let's just do Bale first. I probably will play players 8 Bale waves just for the XP. And I don't think we're ever like in a point where we could have died except like maybe Den of Evil. Like, it's not even that our gear was super good, it's just Paladin is so tanky. It's so funny to watch. One could really argue that you should max the synergy first. I don't think it's a big enough difference to matter though. I was like, are these things not demons? They are demons. We just don't do a lot of damage to them. Yeah, the spread of your holy bolts is based on where your mouse is, in case you didn't know that. In case you haven't figured that out by yet. By now. Which is really awkward because it means when you're fighting a single target, you want to aim like off the map. So that you have the most number of bolts hitting. Which will show against this player 8 Bale. Cast is good. Because if you aim way over here, you bastard, stop running. Even if you're like right here, you aim like way over here. More hit than if you aim way over there. And we can teleport now. Let's go. And a terrible weapon. Teleport. Finish up the Anya quest. Wrong place. This one. And this is why Nightmare is going to go so fast. Especially since we're already quite high level. What are we actually? We're 40 already? Yeah. We don't even need to stop in Nightmare for farming of any kind. Level related. There's a couple farm things you have to do that aren't level related. But level related farming, not a problem. If someone noticed You'll notice these abominables have this weird black sheen to them when they're supposed to be white. You'll also notice this affects this character's hair. I don't know why it is. Well, my game always bugs in this exact same way, where white gets turned into like black. I don't know what it is. I've tried to fix it. I've played with settings. I've reinstalled. It still does it, and it's not a major issue, so I just leave it alone. I'll resist 37 shield. Like, that's actually like not bad. If we didn't already have our like really good shield, that would have been an option for us. Okay, let's show off cows. Player 1 cows. I ain't doing that shit. Okay, cows only requires work light to open. There's a waypoint right under the portal. Please remember to grab it. Cows is 28, which means it's a pretty good place to get like a couple of interesting things. Cows aren't cow drops are not affected by Magic Find. The same way that other monsters are, so don't bother trying to stack a bunch of Magic Find if you're looking for something. And going to cows is just not gonna happen. So if for some reason you didn't have your Crystal Sword, this is your best place to farm it. If you wanted to look for a nice Paladin Res Shield to use instead of a Crystal Sword, this would have been the place to do it. It's a pretty easy spot. XP is actually really good if you find yourself under like level 25 when you're coming in here, or like just at 25. It's probably very similar XP to Bale, like very comparable. I'll do one run, and then we're gonna move on to Nightmare. Make sure you're grabbing all these gems. I am just being a lazy piece of shit. There is absolutely nothing I am specifically looking for in here. I just want to take a look at these shields, see what our resistances we can get are. Yeah, it's really easy for us to do. Not a very hard thing. There's a 6 res, an 8 res. Yeah, the resistance options don't seem great. It's probably better to just go Crystal Sword then. I was trying to think if there's like anything in here that'd be worth talking about as a drop. Cow King set is very important, and you're probably gonna want one later for this character or other characters. It is a very rare thing to drop, and it is very, very good for crafting purposes. Not like the set itself is good. 5 resist, yeah, look like you can get a good shield. Probably cops out at like 15 IDS. Okay. So we're going to move on now. Off the Nightmare. There's really like... Oh shit, I gotta go back to normal and eat my scroll. Oops. I forgot. I'm gonna throw this in my stash while I'm thinking about it too. Okay. Off the Nightmare. If you want to, you can put more points in energy here. I'm going to make our teleport not suck as much. I would suggest just doing Nightmare on Players 1. Nightmare is unimportant until you get to your couple of farm spots. Our resistances are dog water. I don't want to talk about it. That's just a like thing that happens when you swap over. We're not a sorceress who gets extra free resistances on her statue of Mythos. So unfortunately, we just have to eat the fact that we're just going to have low resistances to start off. Yeah, as you can see, our conviction actually has some reasonable range now, so we don't have to be right up on the enemy we're trying to hit with it. And we are a ranged build, so use your range to your advantage for not dying. There's literally nothing to talk about for items you can get until after we kill, after we get to Act 2. So just progress as you normally would, and skip forward if you don't want to watch me kill some things. I might say important things, but I kind of doubt it. Very nice clear. Very fast. I can't put conviction, so you have to go into hold fast. It's 220 defense. Like, if you remember to keep that skill on, oh my god. What are the other short-term buffs? This one is attack speed and attack rating. This one is deadly strike and crushing blow, and this one is damage, attack speed, movement speed. Based on enemies killed since loading into the game. Which is kind of cool. Like, it's such a cool skill. First of all, I should mention that damage is specifically for attacks because of the way damage add works in Diablo 2. So don't get too excited that your spells are going to do more damage. Sorry. Added damage in Diablo 2 almost entirely refers to, I don't know why I'm killing Balladry, I'm here. Like, physical attack damage. 99.99% of the time it refers to physical attack damage. And we're just going to teleport through. Which is why every level for a little bit is just going to be energy, like we really need it. Oh, I literally teleported past Rocket Nature, goddamn. Waypoint would have been a nice find too, you know. I guess it's no on waypoint. If you get lucky and find a 4-socket Pally Shield, feel free to make your spirit. Your resistances will suffer. You'll probably be fine though. Like, I wish I could switch to my Pally Spirit so bad right now so that I didn't have to eat so much mana potion, so many mana potions, so much mana potions. English is my first language, and god do I suck at it. I checked, double and triple checked. There is no reason to do any farming in Black Marsh. Like, I checked hard. Like, I was like, is there any rune words I could use to make my life not suck as much? And the answer is no, not really. So that's saying when I said Nightmare goes so fast. Maybe we'll actually read the Karen Stone thing this time. Maybe we don't need to because we'll just get it right the first try. Let's go. Who needs instructions anyway? leg. See how terrible this ring you're offering us is? Like, it's actually not bad. This way? It's never this way. Like, 1 out of every 5 attempts it's that way. Maybe less than that, to be honest. Okay, our next thing to really talk about is when we get to Fang Skin. Just do some teleporting and don't accidentally teleport in bad spots. If you're hardcore, feel free to walk this. I'd probably want to be 50 if I was hardcore. I definitely wouldn't do this if I was hardcore. I want all these gems. Technically you want the waypoint, but I'm not gonna bother. I'll get it later. Oh, look at that cast speed shield that I'm not gonna be able to use. I'm trying to complete a grail at the same time as I'm doing this. Might as well multitask, right? Especially when it comes to lower level grail stuff. Okay, Radibit. Use half my mana pool before even getting to the out of town. Yep. Good plan, good plan. Remember that if you remove your quest marker, you're in the presence of a quest enemy, it'll pop back up. Best way to see if there's an enemy near you. Besides, you know, using your eyes. But I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I spend most of my time staring at my minimap while I'm roleplaying. Especially if I'm teleporting. Like, the minimap is the real game. I am the reason they removed minimaps from Diablo 4. I think it's going to be on the right, on the left side, my bad. I know, I'm sorry that Nightmare is not fun to watch, but it takes maybe 20 minutes to get through Nightmare like this. And soon we're gonna have some things to talk about. We just gotta get through the ass section. So, thanks for putting up for me for a second. When I say soon, I mean like as soon as we're done with this. This is such a weird maggot lair. What is this? First of all, screw you. That was one teleport if I had been paying attention. Second of all, like, what the fuck is that? Okay, what are we talking about? So, you are going to need to do some Claw Viper temple farming. And I know you've never heard those words in your life. But you're going to need to do some Claw Viper temple farming. Why, you ask? Fang Skin, the unique mob at the end of Claw Viper Temple, has a very high chance of dropping a Skin of the Viper Magi. And boy, would you know that our resistances and our cast speed both suck. And you know what would make that better? A Skin of the Viper Magi. I think it's like a 1... It feels like it's like a 1 in 10 chance to drop. It probably is. I would assume that's what it is. So just farm out Viper Magi until it drops. Or farm out Fang Skin until your Viper Magi drops. I don't want to teleport through here. It's kind of spooky. Or do I? Just save and exit faster than things can kill you. That's the plan. Where's the... Another weird fucking thing. Okay, drop it for me so I can shut off. Nope, okay. But yeah, you're just gonna get the Rad Velocity waypoint, teleport to Claw Viper, and do it over and over again until you get your skin of the Viper Magi. I have prepared one so that we don't have to sit here. Oh yeah, I had to get more strength. I gotta respec because my strength isn't good enough. You might have to too. I'm just gonna go to 45 strength. I am going to go to 50 mana, put this on. I wish this had mana on it. It's so much better. Like, it's already like the best item ever, but you know, I can wish it had mana on it. So yeah, get yourself a nice little Viper Magi then. The extra 1 skill is nice. The extra everything is nice, to be honest. You're trying to find one. You should probably get one before you're 50. If I had to guess. That's about usual time I get one. Hold fast here, my brother. Yeah, if you're not 50 by the time... If you hit 50 and you still haven't found one, you're just not going to find one. Okay, now we have something else to talk about. Assume you need one of each gem, and you can craft yourself a prismatic amulet. I will go ahead and shut that off, I guess. So, boop. I'm going to throw all these in here. Grab a topaz. I hate doing this because it's like kind of annoying because you got to swap between these every time. So get yourself one of each gem. Slowly and through a little bit of suffering. That's a skull, does not count. Skulls are gems, but not gems. Should be topaz. Then, we're going to gamble ourselves an amulet. You can also just pick up an amulet. Throw it in with your gems. Craft yourselves a nice prismatic amulet. You're going to get around 16. You can do it a couple times, try to get a good roll. They're always level 50. I have this one. Like, I don't think it matters. I think the resistance matters more than anything else. You're really going to want to do it before hell, though. That's the most important part. But try to get something, like, semi-reasonable. I do not know if they can roll rare. I've never seen one roll rare, so I would guess not. But at this point, you should have max resistances and just not have to worry about anything. Regardless of what your Viper roll was. Okay. It's time for everyone's favorite gamble. Where do you think it is this time? I'm going to go this way. I think I'm going to get it in 2 tries. I like guessing 2. 2 is a good safe number. You guess 1, you're like, might not have gotten it. Too much RNG to guess 1. But 2's like 50-50 chance, it feels like. Even though that's not how that actually works. Oh, look at that. You're wrong. I wish there was some way to tell. I wish the original designers of Diablo 2 had, like, put some little secret thing in there to be like, oh, this is the direction you go. Circle. But nope, they didn't decide to do that. They were just like, screw you, go every direction. Okay. Okay, Blizzard North. You made a good game, so I'll forgive you, but I will not forgive you for your sins here. Oh, could you imagine that they didn't give you a way to tell which direction the True Talraj's tomb was? Holy crap. Then this game might be unplayable if that was the case. It's so awkward to like have to aim away from the enemy you're targeting. Like you gotta aim like way past them to hit them with every holy bolt. To make up for it, it does do their entire health bar in 2 casts. I think I can forgive them. Okay, so last time when we did the sorcerer's thing, the sorcerer's run through, I told you that you need to farm a lunch of Nightmare Manifesto. Isn't this the exact same drops we got from normal? 1 pair of Arctic Mix and one ring. Feels like the exact drops we got for normal Duriel. God. But anyway, yeah, you don't need to farm Nightmare Mephisto on this build. Like, there's a couple items. If you want to do it a couple times and try to, like, luck sack into some reasonable items, you can do that. Honestly, I don't see any reason not to run it, like, at least 5 times. Might be able to find yourself something good. Maybe some build-enabling stuff. You can swap off of Holy Bolt into something else. That was also the fastest I think I've ever found Spider Cavern. Thought I mentioned that before when you teleported on. But there's nothing specific this build needs to get into Hell. Like, you can literally just do Hell with what we have on now. And swapping to a Spirit Shield later, but like that's obvious. I've only been talking about it the entire time. I think it was supposed to go the other direction. Oh, wait. God, this is such a weird layout of Spider Forest. Okay, here's Flare. Take that so our teleport costs less mana. Is this middle or is this corner? It's corner. Yeah, instead on this build, instead of farming Nightmare Infesto, you're going to want to farm Helm Infesto. Well, we'll talk about that when we get there. We got a bit to go before we get there. Though, to be honest, we're going so fast. I don't know if it's really going to be that long. Looking for a waypoint. Guess I'll just go way over to oh, wait. I think it's one over here. Nope. Guess we'll just run all the way to Travical because I didn't get lucky and find a waypoint. Wait. Boop. Boop. I'm being so greedy. Who needs waypoints 9-3? God. Okay, and this is bizarre. So let's see if we can get the temple done. Temple done. Ooh, that was spooky a little bit. Oh my god, look at that amazing sewer, too. I'm gonna pick this up. You should be picking up all sets and keeping them. I suggest 2 copies of every set. You're going to need them. I definitely click this. But, like, obviously this isn't my first character, and I have a bunch of these sets already. And I'll probably say that at least 2 more times this run. But there's a set that gives Fire Mastery as an O skill, meaning you get Fire Mastery on any class, and it requires alders. Oh my god, look at this fucking amulet. Yeah, we'll be using that. But anyway, it requires alders set and cyber set, so you will want those. Yes. Specifically, you can see all of these set recipes over here in Forsaken packs. The one I'm talking about is Mirrored Flames. 3 to all skills, Fire Mastery, Fire Skill Damage, and Attributes. Those are only the set bonuses. It doesn't show you how amazing the set pieces themselves are. They're all really good. Yeah. So here's the list of sets. You'll need to collect at least 2 copies of each one of these, probably. Yeah, because you see Heaven's Brethren is required in 2 different sets. So don't forget about those, and don't, like, trash them for no reason. Now that amulet was actually really nice for this level. Conviction, or 7 more points for that. And I really want to put more into, like, mana, but I know I, like, can't afford to die. Just teleport things. It only costs 10 billion mana. To be fair, it is the best skill in the game. Waypoint. But as I was saying earlier, I wouldn't do more than, like, maybe 5 Mephisto runs if you're feeling, like, spicy and you want some gear. It's, like, super not necessary. I'm just not gonna pick him. I'm just gonna target him. Wow, what amazing items. I'm so glad I did that. Get rid of this quest log so we can find Israel easier. Hopefully he'll be in, like, some semi-normal spot again. Hopefully. It's wall. There we go. Ow! Something hit me like a truck. It's our Holy Ball dealing 481 listed damage, but it's actually doing way more than that. It took us, what, like 20 minutes to get through most of Nightmare? I did say like it wasn't going to take you long a Nightmare. Downside this is we are going to need to farm something to get some XP. And we're going to start looking out for resistance and just like better defensive. Ooh, shiny. Yeah, you can switch off your rune words now that we had for like Mono Leech and all that kind of stuff. And just like buying nice resistance gear, resistance, life, cast speed on some pieces, that kind of stuff. Die in the corner. That's such a useless item for us. Some other good stats are like higher than like 5 damage reduction, physical damage reduction slash magic damage reduction. I'm not talking about percents, I mean specifically the flat ones. Pretty much anything that you can get your hand on. 3 to offensive advantage. That's the one we're using, isn't it? No, we're using combat skills. That's so sad. Almost so good. But as you can see, like, we don't need more damage right now. Our damage is more than fine for clearing out hell. We'll probably be leveling off of cows. I think that's the plan. That's why I didn't want to do too many norm cows. Once we finish this, I'm going to, what's the word I want to use? I'm going to stand up for a second. I can see my water. I left it across the room. I stand up, stretch for like maybe 30 seconds, and come back and do Act 5. Here, I'll leave you a cat to watch while I'm gone. It's not a live cat, but it's a cat. I mean, the cat is alive. Oh, Ratha gloves. Those are kind of nice. And the collar, too. Okay, I will be back in 1 second. Okay, okay, let's get back to it. Potions. Okay, if you found a semi-reasonable paladin shield as you've been going through, I still think plus 20 resistances is like minimum. Go ahead and make your pally spirit as soon as you kill Shank. I'm going to pretend that's what we're doing. I'm going to get my pally shield spirit when we kill Shank. I'm just kind of tired of sitting on this, and I could really use that extra mana. Make my life so much easier. Yeah, like doubled our mana. Bit of damage too, and I guess some defenses, but what I really care about is the doubled our mana. There is nothing to talk about until we get to cows. So off we go. Speedy! I hope you like the teleport sound, because you're going to be hearing it a lot. The only resistance we don't have max is fire. Interesting. Oh, because my Paladin shield has less, Spirit has less fire resistance, that's right. I'm not doing this on 2 potions. And like, we really need like a better belt at this point. I think technically, Razor Tail can drop from Nightmare Mouth, but I don't want to farm Mouth. It's not worth it to me. I'm also not 100% sure if it does or not. Don't want to test that if it's not necessary. Conviction, 14. 6 more levels of conviction to go. Vitality. Okay, and teleport over to Ancients. Waypoint probably great. I kind of am missing potions again. We spent if potions weren't 1 gold, we'd be bankrupt. Like hella bankrupt. The US government would have to bail us out, we'd be so bankrupt. You know what I'm really scared of is Talic. As per usual, Talic's just the scariest one. Oh, there is something you can get at Math that I completely forgot about. You can get a Herald of Zachariah at Nightmare Mephisto if you really wanted to farm it out. This is a terrible Mephisto layout. What the hell? .68 fire resistance. Ick. Ick. Souls and dolls. Why does this game love me so much? Souls, dolls, and harpies. Game really does love me. If I had to pick the, like, 3 worst enemies to be in a battle room, Souls, dolls, harpies are probably it. I can't think of many things worse than Souls, dolls, harpies. Back to players 8. Mostly because I need this XP. Maybe not. It's kind of... The only thing with players 8 is kind of rough. We're really starting to feel that mana issue I was worried about. Or not mana, but like damage issue. Like, I won't say our damage is bad. Also, we're kind of standing out of range of conviction, which is completely intentional for safety reasons. But it does lower our damage. Where's conviction at? XP is so insane because we're so underleveled. That's why we overleveled in normal, so we could underlevel nightmare. How? Okay, I don't feel safe doing Lister on players 8, I'm sorry. With how bad that one was, I don't think we do Lister on players 8. We'll get XP anyway, so it doesn't really matter. No. There's conviction maxed. 78% reduced magic resistance. CR damage is really good. 3 summoning skills. Wouldn't that have been nice? Okay, we're gonna grab our here, do this, this. And then we'll show off Cow's XP. Like this. Okay, so if you didn't want to go ahead and get your spirit, you can get a pretty reasonable resistance one here. Some other things to note is it might be worth spending some time here to get a 4-socket armor of like a reasonable variety. And a 6-socket dimensional blade is something you can also get from this area. Recommend that as well. This is where I was talking about how Pally's clear is kind of meh on Holy Bolt. When you're up to like a lot of tanky enemies all standing like really close together. What is this till 60? Like, our damage isn't bad, it's just there's so many cows. So you do a mixture of cow runs and bale runs. Get yourself to 60 at least. Honestly, you might want to be like 70 before going into hell. Like, definitely worth considering just being 70 before hell. Okay, so I'll show you the super trick to cows. The trick is Holy Bolt isn't the cow build. If you plan on going cows to like 65, which is probably the cutoff for cows, the build is actually, I'm gonna go 5 more. The build is actually not this. Conviction. The build is Consecrated Ground. So you're gonna go Conviction. Max Holy Bolt is your synergy. Most Holy Bolt builds are also Consecrated Ground builds. But it's very good for cows, and I'll show you why. So get yourself a dumb fuck number of cows. Throw 2 of these down. Stand still. Doesn't that look so much easier? Dumb shit number of cows. Toss twice. Rinse, repeat until cows are done. It's also super safe because they can't actually hit you because they get stunned. You can use this for Bale too, it just doesn't feel as good on Bale. I don't have anything I want to put skills into. Pretty sure we maxed. Yeah, Holy Bolt's maxed already. I should start maxing Holy Bolt synergies. I would pick up these Grand Charms, by the way, they're useful later. You can also get skill Grand Charms in Nightmare Cows. Definitely worth considering grabbing for that reason as alone. You can also get singular plus skill large charms, but they're really rare and it's also really hard to get a good one. So I usually don't bother with it. Unless the character I am trying to roll really can use large charms. And examples of that are like Ice Shot Bow Zon or Explosive Arrow, where there's not a lot of synergy between the skills themselves, but you really need like one specific skill bumped up a bunch. Like, I wouldn't even consider Holy Bolt that because it getting the Grand Charm also gives you extra points to Holy Shield, which is kind of nice. It's so dark, so hard to see anything. Ooh, Amulet. So yeah, we'll do this until 60. I don't know why I put that up. So the reason I didn't suggest consecrated ground for like actually pushing like areas and stuff, I kind of, well, one thing for some people this does cause lag. They've done a couple changes to it to try to like reduce that, but it's still kind of laggy for some people, so I didn't want to suggest it too much. But for doing something like cows, you should be fine. Ooh, Roddickson. Wonder if you can still do this. Oh, okay. They kind of fixed it. Used to be, okay, so used to be you could drop this. These would linger here, and when you enter and exit, they'd like pop again. And that's what was causing so much lag. They don't do that anymore. But I still didn't want to suggest it, just in case. Yeah. Some scary ass cows, goddamn. From that, mite cows. Trying to see like what like resistance of shield we can find in here. Almost 60. Definitely feel that XP dropping down though. Yeah, so our next farm spot is Helm of Esto. Okay, so I'll show you why I don't really suggest this skill for farming like normal things. So do this. Let's go do a bell run. So let's say you like want to clear a bell run out. It's just annoying. Whereas Holy Bolt is just like clear. Consistency. Clear. What this does do though is keeping 2 here. What is the duration on these? 7 seconds. And combining with some Holy Bolts does make for some better clear. The other problem is I don't want to be this close to Bale Waves. Like, when it works, but it's just feel bad. I think that's the best way to put it. Oh, and it's so bad against bosses that are running around. Like, it's a reasonable combined, but, like, it's not a good solo skill. It works here because Bale's not moving. But imagine if Bale was, like, actually moving around. Awful. Just, like, straight awful. Okay, we're going to hell. We're also going to respec back to, like, actual Holy Bolt. Holy Bolt, Conviction. These skills. You'll notice we have a lot of extra points. Those are all going to Holy Shield. And that was the only reason that I like going this build first. I need potions and stuff. Because now that we have Holy Shield, we can consider going max block. I would at least go 50%. Like, you definitely go 50% the rest into Vita. But I'm gonna go 75. %75 block, 1,000 life, reasonable resistances. Yeah, sure. Sorry, I'm just gonna clean up this inventory a little bit. Get back in there. Okay. Back to it. Also, 800 damage Holy Bolts. We'll start with Den. Den, I think, is level 82 or something. Like, something insanely, like, unrealistic for Den to be. 79? Okay, yeah. Which means if you wanted to, you could unironically farm Den till 80. I don't know why you would, but it is a thing you are capable of doing. Gotta be careful about the... Of course, fire is our lowest resistance, which is also, like, the most spooky thing for Den. Why would it not be?
missed one or two enemies somewhere. Probably like a zombie sitting in a corner somewhere. That was some damage. Okay. So begins the hell that is teleporting through hell. If we die on this run, it's probably going to be to this part. Okay, we do not do barrier crowns in hell. Bloodraven is level 90 or something, because she has a very specific drop for necromancers, specifically summoner necromancers. So her level was increased to compensate for that. So that was actually harder to farm her. There's a nice 31 resistance heraldic shield, so yeah. That would make for such a good spirit if you didn't have a good one. But right now I'm more worried about like getting other resistance gear. Like, I knew we were going to be able to cap res. Okay, I knew. Okay, lightning resistance is capped, which is great for this part. Wrong section. Sad. That does not go off to the right like I thought it would. Drink a potion. Not spooky whatsoever, not at all. Did not cry a little bit when I thought I was about to die. Where the fuck's the exit? Goddamn. I ruined everything and it'll be okay. I wasn't thinking when I threw the portal up. That's for sure. There were no thoughts in my head. It was right there too. Means we're gonna have to teleport back to Stony. Okay, so you can get some reasonable like runes from Countess, but remember she caps out like ist. Like nothing worth talking about. So I do not suggest farming Countess. Instead, it's way better to farm Mephisto for rune drops, and I'll explain that when we get there. But basically, he drops an item that can be converted to runes. Oh, God. Okay, so, if you really wanted to, and you're feeling spicy, Griswold has a high chance of dropping the Griswold set. I know. Weird, right? Also, this is a level 79 area, so farming Tristram in Hell is not as weird as it sounds out loud. I really think Griswold's set is more for like attack damage builds than something like what we're playing. But some of his pieces are worth considering. Honestly, I'm considering farming this for a couple levels. Yeah, see if we can get the waypoint and we'll farm for a couple levels, see what the experience is like. I sure wonder what skill I'm getting. I can't, why not? Waypoint where? Waypoint there. Okay. Let's see what the player 8 XP like is on this. Actually, I want those gloves. I saw them add or teleported. Okay, so we're 4 bars in. We'll clear most of Tristram and see what XP is after that. Saigon's Greaves. Well, that's one level. Our clear is kind of meh. Ow. Oh, this is a rare mob. Maybe Consecrated Ground is better for this. Like, XP is really good. Really slow, but really good. Garbage. Garbage. It's because these enemies have natural magic resist. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'd probably just clear out those first, like, couple packs and clear out the middle section, like 2 packs, and then reset. I think we'll do this to like 70. At least. Okay, let's see what Consecrated Ground looks like doing this. So Consecrated Ground, Conviction, Bolts, Shield. Cast Shield. Wrong one. Damage is better, but it just has the like awkwardness to it of playing Consecrated Ground. But damage is so much better that's probably okay. God, like the damage is just so much better. Things hurt when they hit you, though. Oh boy, do they hurt when they hit you. They hurt a lot when they hit you. Oh, there's a shaman here. Ah, that sucks. It's our first death. Yeah, that's just like why I don't like Consecrated Ground. Like, it feels so hard to like play properly. Like, even with this like gear set up to have resistances, we still don't have good enough resistances. Man, I was really hoping to do this deathless. Didn't think that's where I was gonna die. Wouldn't have, like, if you'd asked me where I was gonna die, I would have said probably like Maggot Lair, Claw Viper, or something like that. Some enclosed space. Not I teleport away from a shaman to land on top of another shaman and that shaman kills me. That wasn't even in my on my radar. But it's because I'm being lazy and I don't want to like actually like gear properly. Like if I'd done some Mephisto farming or something like that. Or if we stopped and do some farming in Andariel even. Oh. And then just like got slightly better resistance gear. Probably be okay. Kind of a terrible layout for farming. Yeah, like we have more than the damage for players 1. I don't think we have good like players 8 damage right now. Okay, that has a lot of items. May something be useful for us. Obviously, there was no chance the Barbarian Helm was ever going to be good for us. Tankraids, garbage, Cathans. Disciple is also kind of bad. We've been ruined. Everything is ruined. Okay, sewers time. It's the other direction. Waypoint? I don't know why they gave sewers a waypoint. That was such a weird decision. Yeah, we could use some good resistance here. Okay. Four more levels and Holy Bolt is all the way maxed out. It's kind of one of the big issues with Holy Bolt as well. Maxes out a little too easily. So you just run out of things to put points into. Which is why most people go Consecrated Ground as a secondary damage source when they play Holy Bolt. But I've already said my complaints about Consecrated Ground and I will not repeat them. I just teleport past it? Oh, it's right here. Waypoint. Hole. Way safer to just save an exit there. I don't know what I was doing. Okay, velocity. Am I walking Claw Viper? Probably should. I swear I said it had 75% chance to walk. I thought that was the... Okay, take your gamble, take your guesses. I'm gonna take the guess that it's gonna be one time. It's gonna be this bottom right. I was wrong, I'm sorry. Apologies. I wish it had been the bottom right. Then I'd be done. We can teleport back this time. I got a little spooked last time because of the corner we were in. Sure. We kind of don't have resistances. So, you know, I'm not too surprised about that. It doesn't make me feel good, but I'm not too surprised about that. This is the downside to playing, like, super fast like we are. Sometimes you'll get bullshitted. Pretty sure we just got shotgunned to like 6 fireballs in a row and died. Star, circle, cyclops, square, triangle. I know I can look at the quest log, I don't wanna. Let me have my small bit of fun after getting one shot by a fireball. Oh, that feels so bad. 2 deaths right back to back feels just awful. Both to like the same thing. Are dog water fire resistance. I'm actually kind of cold. Best 2 reveals of my life. We go ID Sadako Sigil. Staccato Sigil. Okay, and I was thinking to myself, man, it'd be really cool if we could get the other one. Reveals Mamba's Circle. Okay, I guess I'll have both. It does help our resistance a little bit. They're just better than cast rate rings. That's really what it comes down to. Like, we've had these cast rate rings forever now. Should have been looking for some res rings or something this entire time. But getting them like that is the funniest way to do it. Okay, so I'm killing things here. I should explain this. We need you're going to want a good 4-socket armor. Because the goal from this point is to switch to shield toss. Once we farmed Bale a bit. Not Bale, Mephisto a bit. So you're going to want a nice 4-socket elite base shield. Paladin shield, specifically. Should point that out. And you're going to want a nice 4-socket armor. You'd prefer if your Paladin shield was ethereal, but it's not technically a requirement. You also want at least 20 res, 30 pref. You can roll up to 45 in Flare Jungle. Okay, I don't want to eat any more deaths. 2 is enough for me. So yeah, keep your eyes out for a nice resistance shield and a nice chest piece. Your best probably like Mage Plate, Archon Plate, something in that vein. Dust Shroud, probably fine. Kara's Shield is your best option for shields. A lot of people like Vortex later on. I decided to go with Vortex Shield anyway. Even though I had the ability to get higher shields. Okay, Flare Jungle. Okay. Go back, get our potion potion solved a bit. I do think Flare Jungle is worth doing players 8 in, mostly because it's a very easy area. We're gonna need to farm it anyway. And boy do we need some XP. Yeah, you can really see what I was saying when I was saying, like, I don't like Holy Bolt the entire way through. And this is about the point where it starts falling off a bit, especially in players 8. Mostly because we don't really have gear. We got like kinda gear. Screw you. I got resistance to fire now. Yeah, really suffering with our damage here. Man, I really don't want to play Consecrated Ground. But I might like actually have to farm this consistently. Like it's just damage is like that much better. Feels bad. Hey, I'm really just not a fan of Consecrated Ground. Oops. Okay, Consecrated Ground is where it's at. Sad. Even this is kind of subpar, to be honest. It might just be that our damage in general just isn't good enough right now. Double res bell, but it's like the wrong resistances. Is kind of sad. I don't have waypoints. How could I forget? Oh, wait. I'd rather actually grab the item. Yes. Okay. So I've been going for a while. My brain is kind of dead. So many vultures, like, please. I'd much rather have flares. Anyway, let's just finish off Act 3, get to Mephisto, so I can show you what I can farm, what we're supposed to farm in Mephisto, and then I can stop suffering, and you guys can suffer by yourselves. I have done my farm. I have suffered enough, thank you. I am not going to do Kuros Bazaar simply because how annoying it is to do right now. And the fact that things in there are resistant to magic, or immune to magic, means that this is not the best time to do that. I'm going to also do this. Did I pick this up? Okay, 3 of 4. Travical. One flail. Oh yeah, we don't have fire resistance. Yeah, that's the thing. One, two, three, four. Yeah, like, I think Holy Bolt, like, is strong. But I also think it has this problem where it kind of doesn't have items worth searching for early. It's actually not a bad waypoint. Considering what Mephisto can be, that's really not a bad waypoint. Okay, so I wanted to show you how you're going to be gearing this from here. And I guess it's the best way to show it. So, what Mephisto does, he drops these when he dies. Each of these has a chance to drop between 1 and 3 high rune points. For note, the lowest high rune point is Mal at 1 point, and Zod is at 1,000 points. Most of the stuff we need to make, like a Grief, is 32 points. So, you would think it would take you forever at 1 to 3 rune points for this to make some good items, right? Currently, this mod has a system where you have a Heroic Drift Shop, and things change pretty much like every few patches to keep the game fresh. One of the ones going on right now is all essences deposited in a bag will receive double rewards. So instead of 1 to 3, these are now 2 to 6 each. Which means we can go from 0 to 18 in one run. Which is half of a low. Almost. Like a little more than half of a low. So you're going to do that and farm yourself up this set of gear. Which I cannot wear. So, you're going to farm yourself up a Grief, a Fortitude, and a Exile. The Exile, I think, is the most expensive one. It's also the least important one. So, in total, a Grief will cost you... Oh, God, we'll start with the Fort. The Fortitude is 32 high rune points. I'll get the calculator out. So don't mess up. So Fortitude is 30. 32. A Grief is 33. And I believe the Paladin shield's at the top somewhere. Shield Paladin. And Exile is 26. So you need 91 high rune points to craft this gear. And as you saw, we got 18 on one run. You're going to average about 2 to 6 a run. Because you don't get them every run, and sometimes you get multiple. That's what it felt like when I was doing anything anyway. I would say at most like 2 hours to craft this. And then you go to Flare Jungle, find your bases, get them socketed. There's 2 ways to socket them. You could use money by using your item plus a over here. Your item plus a gold bar puts maximum sockets on it. You could also just luck sack and find a socketed one. But anyway, get your Grief, your Fortitude, and your Exile. Here are the other items to look out for while you're farming Mephisto. Nat Boots. Very nice to have because of the Mana Stolen per hit. We need some Mana Stolen per hit to make this build work. They're a pretty common drop from everything, to be honest. They're pretty low level. So Nat Boots, double res, Mana Leech, faster run walk. These 4 items are your most important. Everything else, wear whatever the hell you get. I would suggest going Laying of Hands if you get it. The extra attack speed and fire resist, super good. Gilliam's Face, Crushing Blow, Deadly Strike. I'm not 100% sure Deadly Strike works on Shield Toss. Going to be perfectly honest. But Crushing Blow does, for sure. A Verdungo is probably your best build slot. If you can't get a Verdungo, String of Ears. You can't get String of Ears, cry about it. For your rings, you're going to want a Dwarf Star. This is best in slot ring for the rest of the game for you. As you just saw me die twice to fire damage, this is the ring you want. And your second one's a Ravenfrost, which we're only wearing up until the point where we can get a Shamron in our gear. So anyway, I'm going to remove all this stuff. I'm going to respec. 70 is a great level to do this respec, by the way. So gear is 50, 65 is the lowest ones. Respec to wear gear. Wear your gear. Yeah. Whatever you need to do. I need 60 dex, but let's go all the way to 115 strength first. And then 60 dex. Oops, I want a little extra. Oh, we're going to go extra anyway. Please show me, like, reasonable resistances. God, my resistances are dog water. I'm going to cheat a little bit. I'm sorry, guys. You will not have an Annie at this point, but I will. I won't. Okay. I won't. I'll just deal with my dog shit resistances. Fine, fine, fine. And then we're going to go... We need to max Shield Toss. The important ones are Shield Toss, Holy Shield. From there, we're gonna max fanaticism. Shield Glare is also the next max, which doesn't give us damage, but it does give us the ability to remove physical resistances. Super important. And then max Smite or Zeal. I think Smite is technically better, but I also don't think it matters. So Shield Toss, Glare, Holy Shield, Smite on this button. We have 56% chance to block by existing. Okay, cool. But yeah, this was just to show off like what items you could get. There are way better items and there are mid items, and these aren't. These are actually probably along the baseline of like the worst items you get. Like we're literally using a Crescent Moon when we could be using a High Lord's Wrath, that kind of stuff. Like I was just like, let me see items we could wear, and this is what I came up with. So yeah, our resistances are kind of doggy, but we're gonna keep going and finish up this. Here's a quick go through of our gear again. We're gonna go back to Act 3 and we're gonna do Lower Kuros Bazaar things now. Our damage is reasonable. I think these might actually be like player 8 enemies, but it's fine. We are really safe with this build, by the way. That was kind of my purpose of it. I wanted a build that was super safe early on. Like, yeah, our damage might not be as good as Holy Bolt, even with our better gear. But we are really safe, and it's not fair to contest a attack-based build with a caster build. Like, it's just really not fair. Oh yeah, we need to be in Bazaar. I'm stupid. It's definitely not like our damage is bad either. Like, more than reasonable damage. So some other items you can consider. Herald of Zacharon is a really good item, obviously. There is also Blackheart's Revenge, which is specifically made to be a shield toss item. Really worth grabbing. It's weird because it's not a high level item, but I still haven't found one. But mostly the concept is once you get to Mephisto, farm out your Grief, your Fortitude, your Exile. And once you have those, equip enough gear to get good resistances. Use Eddie Rim's. I wish they'd come up with another name for this. Eddie Rim's concepts to go. Like you can max out resistances with this if you're feeling really desperate and you don't want to die. Like, there's a lot of different things you can do. You could also just have better gear. My gear is, as I said, really mediocre. But for starting, I think Herald of Zacharon is probably better than Exile. So if you find an early Herald or a Blackheart's Revenge, those are the better shield to go. But anyway, from here, it's really just getting places, isn't it? Unfortunately for us, teleporting is going to be awful. And like Shield Toss is such a fun build. Oh, bye. You can't shield toss if you don't have Holy Shield, and I think it's because they didn't want to do an animation for every different shield you can shield toss, which I can't blame them for, but it is really funny. But the guide section for this really ends with get to Mephisto and farm your gear. From here, it's just we're gonna finish up. Like, you've been here this long, I'm sure you want to see the end. And I want to show off that you can take this like kind of mediocre gear and go straight into like end game farming with it without too much of a hassle. The real one is the resistances are really bad. And there is another rune word you could farm. It's called Knowledge. And it's a 3-socket circlet rune word. You can find it in your group recipe section. The problem I had with it is it requires a jaw. And I was like, no one's going to want to sit there at Mephisto and farm up to a jaw. Like, not a single person is going to want to do that. And that's why we're on the gear setup we're on. As you see, we actually do like really good damage. Which, I mean, with the gear we have, if we weren't doing this much damage, there would be no point to swapping over. We would just be like, yeah, play Holy Bolt all the way through. Which you can. If you want to stay on Holy Bolt, you just... What the hell was that? Can I do it again? It does do it twice. Give me a second. I want that for later. Game bug. Why game bug? I don't like know how I'd prove that Deadly Strike goes off. I asked in the Remodded Discord earlier, but I don't know if anyone actually ever saw my message, or anyone that knew the answer saw my message. Such a specific question, like, yeah, does this one specific skill interact with Deadly Strike? Maybe? Yeah, I could teleport, but I really want XP. I'll teleport this section though. Shield Toss is actually really good with plus skills, by the way. So if you're playing this build and you have to choose between like plus skills and something else, plus skills is probably worth more than you think it is. Because its plus skills also add to your Holy Shield and your Shield Toss, which double dips in for damage pretty much. I actually tempted to put my resistance amulet back on. But also, Mono Leech is nice. Yeah, here's your Stro of Shield Toss. It does Shield Tossy things. It's really nice for hallways, and thank God that the endgame farming stuff is pretty much all hallways. When you get Blackheart's Revenge eventually instead of this Exile, Blackheart's has a chance to throw shield throws per shield throw, or it shoots shield throws on striking. So you'll throw one shield throw, which will throw other shield throws. It's actually really insane. Probably one of my favorite items in the game. Ring? Ravenfrost?
Not even death can save you from me.
Where'd my mana go? So that was the show of Shield Toss. Now we're just gonna try to get through Veil. Whee! Smite, smite. 73, which is like way under leveled for what we should be here. Okay, you see the area level's 80. And I said as long as you're, as I said earlier, like as long as you're not doing what I'm doing, just like constantly teleporting. Instead of like actually fighting through stuff, you should be fine. You guys will have to do all the farming too, so I'm sure you guys will be 80 plus by the time you're doing what I'm doing right now. And if you guys have any questions about the build, or any other builds, feel free to join the Remodded Discord. Though technically it's the D2Modding Discord. And ask your questions, or you can put them in the comments below, etc. Make my algorithm not suck, because I'm playing a game that doesn't really have a viewer base. Shameless plug in here, like and subscribe. I'll be going through each of the characters and what they should start with to make them easy to level and get you started in the game. I think the next is... I don't know, I'm really debating between Barb and Druid next. But I will take any suggestions. We've already done Sorceress. Bozon isn't possible, but I could do Javazon if you want to do that. Trapsin, completely possible. You cannot convince me to play Martial Sin. To be completely honest, I hate martial arts Sin. I think the Mosaic effect kind of ruins Sin. This way. These things have added resist or physical resist yet. Ow! Oh, we got the physical immunity rotten through. Got it, got it. We do have ways to deal with physical immunity. It's specifically Shield Glare breaks physical immunity. That's why we maxed it second for that reason. Also has a blind on it, which is very good defensively. Oh, immune to physical even after all that? Wow. Yeah, we can't leech. Oh, is this literally everything's immune to physical here? Come on. Late game we can deal with that. We cannot deal with it right now. Kind of funny though. Oh, the game knows that I just cannot deal with immune to physical right now. Yeah, we're getting screwed for two different reasons here. We can't mono leech off undead, so our high mana costs are really killing us. And there's immune to physical enemies. They were like, what is the worst setup for things we could possibly put up for this paladin to have to deal with? They're like, what if we did immune to physical undead? Oh, thanks. There's a version of this build that plays Conviction instead of Fanaticism. You do less damage per like second, but you have a faster cast speed. And it's definitely worth considering. Or other way around. You do less damage per second, and you attack slower, but you have way higher like single hit damage. And it is definitely worth considering going that build, especially on a starter, if you don't mind giving up Fanaticism. It's probably the better build with lower gear. I'll thank God we got the waypoint. But attacking fast is fun, so I want that one. Resistances? Who has those? Why is everything immune to physical? You have to be very careful about these spears-ons. They are super spooky. Yeah. The endgame trials look like this area. And they're all these like tunnel-y things. So you can see how good shield throw is at like throwing ahead of you and just clearing out. You can also turn around corners and stuff with the ricochet mechanic. It's such a fun skill. Sorry, I'm kind of repeating myself and rambling. There's nothing to talk about before we get to Bale. Like, this run is pretty much over. It's just guaranteed that we get there. And really the thing to do is show off like the end-game capabilities of this build like right off the bat. Realistically, what you would do is you would go farm the new map system, which I'm not going to explain. But basically, like I'm not going to explain in detail. I'll give you the TLDR. You find maps in terror zones, and they open special areas with higher drop rates. There you go. The least explanation I can give for it, but it should be good enough for you. Okay, so I'll explain this Grand Matron bow. It's basically like you don't have the ability to make loot filters, but you can highlight specific items, and I was looking for those on my Zon. I just haven't turned it off. You can do this offline in like regular Diablo 2 as well. As long as you don't turn it online ever. The risk is yours to take. I wouldn't suggest it though. No real loot filters, unfortunately. As amazing as they'd be to have. Italic is the spookiest one. Everyone else just kind of exists. Anything we're talking about? Boots, helm. Some nice resistances, please. One resist. Garbo. Sure, our block is maxed. Oh, goody goes. Souls make me sad when I have max resistances. Damn ghosts. There's another Grand Matron Bow. I'm looking for like a +3 one with like good stats. Or a +2, I don't think a +3 can drop. Okay, waypoint acquired. Lightning resist. Almost there. Oh, god damn it, it's dolls. Ugh. Dolls souls? God, this game really does fucking hate me. Debating to reroll in the battle room, to be honest. There's two choices. We re-roll the battle room, or we pray that fucking life taps carries our ass. You know, I do want to try the conviction build. Let's try the conviction build, especially since we have like a low damage right now. So we max conviction. Shield toss, always shield, shield glare, smite. This is one of those builds I've seen in theory, but I haven't actually seen someone like play it. Like, in theory, it's so much better because of 76% physical resistance removed. It's just so much. Almost doubles our damage. Was Fanat not giving us, like, good damage increases? Yeah, like, look at that damage. Is Fanat not giving us stats at all? Doesn't feel like it was. Either way, I think this just looks better on paper. I'll have to take a look at the game after the game, but I would suggest Conviction. Until you get a good year. That damage is just way higher. 1 to curtain of fire, garbage. 1 to bow and crossbow skills. Yeah, like it didn't seem like Fanat was giving the right stats. Interesting. Okay, then you can combine okay, so that's our walkthrough guide. Now let me show off what this build can do in the higher areas. Ah, sorry. So first of all, we'll go over our gear again. I know you've seen it before. Grief, Fortitude, Exile, Natalia Soul. These are the main items you need. I suggest then getting some damage reduction, like percent damage reduction. Raven, Frost, and Dwarf Star are also really good. Your biggest, like, what should I do with these are your gloves, your helm, your amulet. Just fill stats in. We go Max Shield Toss Conviction, maxing Holy Shield, and then Shield Glare into Smite Zeal. And this is what where trials look like. We're gonna play very safe, by the way, because we don't really have good stats. So when you don't have good stats in trials, your only real choice is play safe. But you see our damage is pretty good. This is like the start of our in-game farm area. Player damage is more than enough to clear this. You have to play safe. You have to not be stupid. But you can definitely do it. On players 1. With the conviction version of the build. I'm not sure about fanaticism. See, those are what you need to worry about. You need to be positioning so that the archers can't shoot you. I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, just throw, walk, throw, walk. Life tap will probably keep you alive 90% of the time, but don't chance it. To deal with those archers, you really need magic damage reduction, or magic resist, max block, that kind of stuff. I'll try to get us to the boss, and then we're done after we get there. Just wanted to show off what we're technically capable of. And then I'm going to go gear this in good gear, and do some farming. Yeah, it's really just like the only thing you have to be careful of right now is like don't let the smiths get too close to you and don't let archers attack. Like spam shot you. Everything else, even with like low resistance, is really easy to deal with. Of course, this is only talking about the like lowest of the low of this area. And every 5 levels it does change, but as a newer character, we're only going to be farming the top levels anyway. I don't even mind if I die, to be honest. Like, I wish we had some resistances and stuff. But I meant some magic vine as well. Like some magic vine would be really nice. Okay, there's the next area. So this is every every level of trial has a sub trial as well. And this is where the boss of the floor resides. I hope I have max block. I don't. Fruit. And the biggest test of this build is, can we kill the boss without extra gear? Oh good, there's Amp and there's Might and there's the boss. Unfortunately, I can't shield glare from this distance. Will it walk over here? Aha! Yeah, being able to kill the boss might be a great reason to go shield glare. Or not to go shield glare, to go conviction. Because like with both combined, like it's pretty easy. Though this boss has always been really cheesable with certain builds, so I'm just glad we can do it. But yeah, there's Shield Toss Valley. Leveling complete. The key takeaways is, like, play Holy Bolt. Thank you for the raid. Moments before we exit. Literally moments. But thanks for the raid anyway. I'm literally just wrapping up right now. What was I saying? Oh yes. Play Holy Bolt until you get to Helmephesto. Find your grief, your fortitude, and your exile. And then just play Shield Toss until the very, very end. But that's pretty much it. I think I've reiterated everything else over the last 4 hours. So I am done for the day. I guess I'll send my raiders 6 hours for sea veiling. Yeah, I bet. I will send my rages off somewhere else. I feel bad, but you guys literally came in right as I was about to end. Let's see. It's been a while since I've raided someone, like a long time. I don't even have the button ready. Oh God, I'll do it the hard way. We're just gonna pick someone. I'm not even gonna look. I choose someone with low viewers and not a terrible thing. I choose this one. You guys have fun.